feels like it.
5, 4, 3.
What's up, Pacifica? Guess what? We are launching our Fog Fest special live, just kidding, right here on Pacific Coast Television. Give it up for PCT. Woo! Woo! We're going to go behind the scenes. Oh, there we go. The ghosts are in the house as well. We've been working hard on the Fog Fest, so I thought it'd be a great idea to add something else to our plate, get a little bit of the names and faces behind the scenes on camera, and just get a better idea of what it takes to put on a festival of this magnitude. And I've tagged in my co-host here, Rudy Evenhouse from PCT, also the host of the Daily Report. Is it Report or Report?
It's Report.
Report. Oh, Reports. It's not like Colbert.
No.
Okay, never mind. But one of the reasons you're all, oh, wait, yeah, you got a mic. Perfect. You won't need that for a while. But so, yeah, to my left here, we have Kathy Johnson, Miss Fogfest, I like to call her. VP now, Vice President, but you were the coordinator for a while. Before we get into some interview questions, though, can you just give us a quick history about Fogfest and, if someone's never been before, the kind of just like higher level points of it?
It's been around for a while. It started in 1986. They hired a promoter.
Production company or something?
Promoter.
Where are they at?
Yeah, and they did it for 8 years. Then in 1994, Pacifica Festivals took it. They ran it until 1999. And then in 2000, Fogfest Organizing Group took it over. I started with them probably in 1998 just as a block captain and moved up until I became the event coordinator, and this year became vice president and the event coordinator.
All your dreams came true in 2024.
Yes.
Before we get into the interview, are there any things that people watching for the first minute absolutely need to know? Like, I'll go first. Like, any last minute sponsors, you got to hit me up now, or we'll have to do it next year. How are you doing with volunteer organizations? This is a big fundraiser, so it's a lot of 30 to 55 volunteer groups help put this on. So are you still looking for folks, or what can we tell them?
Right now, we're pretty set. After COVID, we lost quite a few community groups. We have 35 right now, and they all have jobs that they know what needs to get done. We have a couple of new groups that we signed up, and if anybody is interested, they can always contact me, and if we can't find something for you to do this year, we'll find something for you to do next year.
Definitely. I feel like I got hit up last minute, so if you do want to volunteer, just comment, message, like, get a hold of us. We're out here, but there's always going to be something to do that I could just, if I could see it in your head right now, it's like there's like a million little things we don't know about, but yeah, bodies always help, and caring about the community is not a bad thing.
Correct.
Robin wants to make sure that we talk about the parade registration. Can you just give us a brief, blurb about the parade? And then if Jason's in the back with that parade picture, maybe we can throw that up to get people excited.
Yes.
I don't know. We'll see.
You can go to PacificCoastFogFest.com, go to activities. There's a drop down. It says parade, and you can register right there. You have until August 31st. So please register. Everybody loves a parade. This year's theme is a whale of a good time.
Yeah, in those pictures, you can tell people are having a whale of a good time. And the whales will probably still be out. I hope so. I called their manager and I said, Breaker's business is booming. We need those whales out there and those sunny days. So hopefully that still goes. I know you might be crunched for time because I saw you working over there. So I want to get you back to work. No offense, but yeah, you are the glue that holds us together. So thank you again for that.
Thank you.
You talked about how long you've been involved. What are your main roles and responsibilities now as coordinator and vice president?
Event coordinator, still the same thing. I have to get the tents, the portables, the permit, the security, the janitorial service, runners that help do the kegs, just make sure the street is ready and marked for the booths. Make sure the booths are placed in the right thing. Make sure when
this is all in her head, by the way.
When the event is over, that it is cleaned up so that the businesses and the schools don't see any leftover remains of the Fog Fest. That's our goal.
You've always been really good at that because it's almost like a carnival. It just comes and goes, and then business as usual. But then we end up raising, close to 100 to 200,000, as we distribute. So it's a big, heavy lift. And again, very appreciative for you taking the time to be here and share a little behind the scenes of what it takes to put this thing on. What's the most rewarding thing then about working for the Fog Fest? And then, maybe share one of the most challenging things
The most rewarding thing is the camaraderie of the Fog Fest. The city comes together, the businesses come together, the people come together. We have some reunions that happen. Oceana takes a big picture. They through their website, they plan a big party up there to take a photo of new and old Oceana people. It's a good feeling. The challenges are just always making sure you don't forget anything, and that we make a lot of money to have the next year's Fog Fest, but most importantly, to give back to the nonprofits that help put this on, because most of the money that they get is given back to the children somehow, some way.
Yeah.
And so it's in my heart.
So
I
it
love
really
this
is a
event.
giant fundraiser, but it is a labor of love. And
It is.
we're an all volunteer-driven group at this point. So, if you want to get involved, or if you want to donate, or if you want to sponsor, or if you just want to buy us a drink or hug us at the end of the day, please do. Rudy, you've been so patient. Do you want to get a question in
All
here
right,
for
yeah,
the VP?
Robby's going to pass the mic over to me. I'm Rudy Evenhouse, host of the Daily Report on Pacific Coast TV. So, Kathy, is there anything you want to share about Fog Fest that you think people should know, or maybe some inside tips or something to look forward to?
I would say to try and take public transportation. They can look that up on our website. The buses run right through there. We're very crowded. Try and make it for the parade. The parade is always a wonderful event. There is a lot of ways to enter and exit walking, and we do have handicap parking at both ends of the event. I think those are important things to know.
All right, sounds like some really great information how to get there. And, of course, everyone's looking forward to the parade. What's the most exciting thing for you about the parade?
Just to see all of the people that are involved, the schools, the bands, businesses, Recology, North Coast County Water District, the fire department, and the police department. And everybody has a wonderful time.
It really does kick it off, too,
Yes.
because I think by design, for better or worse, you're starting the event with 5,000 to 10,000 people right when it goes. So if you're a business or if you're a vendor, there's already an audience for you. So that I wouldn't change that for a thing. You're also excited about the fog cutters, I heard. Is that what you were talking about with John?
Yeah. We have our signature drink, which is the fog cutter, and we will be serving that both days, and we'll probably be on some local channels, so stay tuned for that.
Nice
and we'll
plug.
be showing you all the fog cutter.
And we'll have souvenir glasses for it, too.
Yes.
Okay, sweet. We appreciate you being here. I think you could hang out, and maybe if you want to help me interview Rudy, because we didn't talk about you exiting, but it's up to you. But I think it would be better if she stayed. Okay. You got kicked off by Marty.
All right.
Thank you for your
so
time.
much.
We love
Thank
you.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we'll just toss that on your chair. Perfect. Thank you so much. Fake clapping, real clapping, the whole line. There you go. Perfect. All right, Rudy, you're in the hot seat.
All right, I'm in the hot seat now. I typically
You got
do a
some
late
jokes
night,
for us, huh?
I do got some
Okay.
jokes for us. I typically do a late night talk show, musical variety show on Pacific Coast TV, The Daily Report. Check me out on the Daily Report channel, YouTube channel. So I've cooked up 5 Fogfest themed jokes to get you real excited. Hopefully, be positively excited about Fogfest, even though some of them a little bit cutting.
Yeah, Aaron's here. He's a big dad joke guy, so don't let him steal your material, all right?
All right, but hopefully everyone this is all done in good fun. I love the Fogfest.
You don't got to explain to that. You just kill him, baby.
All right, I'm kind of stalling here. All right, let's get into this. So, you know what they say about the Fogfest? It's never actually foggy. That is, until a few years ago when the cannabis dispensaries came in. Anyone a fan of the Fogfest mermaids? For unspecified reasons, they're not going to be appearing this year. The good news is they'll be serving tons of fish and chips. Pacific Coast TV will be broadcasting Fogfest coverage live this year, answering the age-old question, what would happen if I went to Fogfest and took off my glasses?
That's your, you work for PCT, right?
Yeah, hopefully they don't get too up and bothered about that.
Marty's laughing. Keep going. You're killing it.
All right.
He still doesn't get it.
Who's excited for the bands this year? All right, everyone in the audience has just raised their hands. The bands were on fire last year. Woo! So much so that the fire truck had to divert its route during the parade.
That's hot.
Definitely. Speaking of the fire truck, when it went past me in the parade last year, I was hoping they would spray me with their fire hose, because it was the only way I was going to get free water during the event.
For the record, if you need water, you could go to the first aid tent or lit. They got some water for you.
All right, so I guess you have some questions for
Was
me
that
now.
all? You were killing
That's
it.
it.
You got one off the top of your
Gotta do
dome?
the golf swing.
Do you have an encore that you want to do, or are you good?
That's all the jokes
All right, I
I
don't mean
wrote.
to put you on the spot. Thank you for being here. I love you. You followed me through this crazy journey and vice versa. So it's
Same
an
here,
honor. Have you had the pleasure of being able to meet Aaron from Cotton Crustacean yet?
Nice to meet you, Aaron.
Aaron's
Good to meet you, Rudy.
Basically the art director and the merch coordinator for FogFest. I suckered him in to come back this year. And yeah, do you want to take the first question, or do you want me to? I guess we'll skip the interview about me unless.
Were we going to interview each other? I think that's up next in the
Okay,
script.
maybe it's not about me, but maybe briefly, and then we'll
right.
get back to Aaron if that's okay.
Sounds
The
like a
power's
plan.
out in Sharp Park, so we have you for at least a couple hours.
Yeah,
right?
I have nowhere to go.
Okay, sweet,
I
Aaron.
need shelter.
You're with me, man.
All right.
Always. Okay, cool. You want me? What's up? Oh, I'm interviewing you. That's right.
there you
Okay,
go.
cool. Right on. That's why you're my stage manager / guest.
Exactly.
Rudy, what's your experience been like with FogFest? Like, you grew up in Pacifica like me, so how's it changed from like when you were a kid to now? What's something specific you're looking forward to?
All right, so I have been involved with FogFest ever since I was a kid. I remember when I was a little kid, me, my dad, and my brother, we would get on bikes because all the parking was like nuts.
Yeah, ride bikes. That's a good idea.
So we got on bikes and we would drive down to we would bike down to the FogFest. I know there's been some times where we've actually been able to stop over at garage sales.
Ooh, nice.
Near the FogFest, and people were taking advantage of that in a good way, I think, and that's always been fun. I love garage sales.
Support your local economy.
There you go. So we've gotten to FogFest. We've done the family fun fair. I remember a couple times I did the climbing wall, which has been pretty regular at the FogFest. I remember the one year where I conquered my fears and got all the way to the top.
Attaboy.
I don't think I could do that today. My fears have returned.
It's all right. We'll do it together.
There you go. But then when I joined Pacific Coast TV, I had to help produce their live coverage of the FogFest, which is no mean feat. It's literally like, I think, 8-hour coverage both days or 6-hour. I would have to record. I would have to be the cameraman recording the bands. I remember last year at FogFest, I actually was able to direct several of the bands, which is fun. I mean, if you see the social media clip, I was going bobbing my head like camera one.
Nice.
Ready, take it.
So you're having fun working all those long hours and serving the community at the same time.
It's a lot of work, but it's definitely a ton of fun.
That's cool, man. I'm glad you brought up that you do the PCT live stream, because we don't talk about that enough, that Pacific Coast Television is going to be streaming this live on their website and Channel 26. And so look for Rudy out there. You guys will probably have a booth and be doing giveaways and helping MC the stages. What do you do outside of PCT and writing these funny jokes?
Well, outside of PCT, I have several personal projects. Like I said, I host the Daily Report, but I also make movies and draw a comic strip. I've actually got a movie I'm working on right now. It's the next episode in my Chicken Wars series about the parody of the infamous Star Wars series. It's called I made the Chicken Wars original trilogy back in middle school, where the chickens fight against the evil KFC empire. And the evil lord, Colonel Sanders, played by my dad.
I was going to say, does it turn out to be the chicken's dad?
You'll have to watch the movie to find out.
Good
No
job.
spoilers.
No spoiler. Maybe the crazy chicken can battle Godzilla one day. Did you know Aaron worked for the Godzilla franchise?
Oh, wow, that's so cool.
I think we could
didn't
do.
even know that.
Yeah.
What did you do on there?
There you go. We'll just skip to this. No, you want to wait or you want to do?
No, I'll just have
okay,
him
yeah, real
roping
quick.
in for a few minutes about the Godzilla.
I didn't realize I was going to talk about my job.
Okay, baby, cut it out. We'll
All
get
right,
to that later.
if you don't feel comfortable, that's all right. But so now I'm working on the Chicken Wars prequel trilogy, showing the origins of the Chicken Jedi Order and how the evil KFC empire rose to bring tyranny to the galaxy of chickens. So the movie I'm producing right now is Chicken Wars Episode 1,
Very
the
exciting.
Phantom Chicken.
Very, very exciting. Thank you, Rudy.
And you can look for updates on that on the Daily Report YouTube channel.
You're really good at plugging yourself. Can you help me do that at the end with FogFest? I can't forget.
Sure
Okay,
thing.
sweet. I think we covered your segment. If you don't mind, if you want to grill me for a second,
All right,
then,
sounds good.
Then we'll get back to Aaron FogFest
That sounds
only.
good. We want to get back
It's
to
in his
Aaron.
contract, FogFest only.
I know.
Sorry,
Oh yeah, man, I gotta get a lawyer or something. I'm in trouble now.
we know a guy.
All right, so what was your introduction to the FogFest, Robby, and what has your experience been like over the years?
I would say the things I remember the most is, going as a kid. I think we pretty much have the same childhood growing up in FogFest. In Pacifica, there's not too much to do, so it's probably Sea Bowl, rest in peace, and then FogFest, baseball, and any other extracurriculars, the beach and stuff. But I used to actually go to FogFest, and I used to get those clay wax or the wax hands. Was that around when you were a kid, or did they? Was that too?
No, I don't
Oh yeah, I
remember
think
that one.
we used to put our hands in like really hot wax,
Uh-huh.
and then I would put it on my TV and I'd play Nintendo. I don't know if you know what Nintendo is, but it would melt on the TV. So every
Oh,
year
no.
I would go get a new one, and it would just slowly melt. So
Oh,
I just
man.
remember that being super cool and spending time with my family and my cousins and stuff like that. Fast forward, I actually tried not to get involved in the FogFest, but they put out an SOS, and Aaron and
luck
I
with that.
Aaron and I actually talked, and we're big fans of the people who were able to hang around and try to save this, and so that's kind of like my whole arch and why we're here. Because we believe in the FogFest even from early on to now, so it's an honor to serve the community and give back to the thing that raised me, and part of that was FogFest. It really is one big like happy family reunion. So
Yeah, definitely. What has it been like to collaborate with the FogFest through your involvement with organizations like Pacificans Care and your restaurant Breakers?
So it's funny because we were working out these questions yesterday, and I was gonna edit this one because it's like I'm neglecting Pacificans Cares and Breakers. Like we all haven't seen our significant others in so long. Like I don't have kids, but like, just the people have kids. So this is it's just FogFest or bust right now for me. But the fact that my dad is at Breakers and can kind of handle that, very similar with like my campaign, I can kind of come in and out. But I'm working on FogFest and I'm working on Breakers, and then I'm kind of doing Pacificans Care. But I've kind of slowed down on that because we're in crunch time.
Mm-hmm.
But if I wasn't a local boy, community member, business owner, and part of my life through my community grant programs through Pacificans Care and all that, like I think that just kind of prepped me and got me ready for taking on this beast, because I take what I know from running a business and running a nonprofit, and you combine those together, and then you add a little sprinkle of running for city council, then you add like 10 more crazy things you never thought you'd expect. You've got FogFest. So all those things prepared me for this moment, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, if people are at FogFest and the lines are through the roof for all the booths, you can head over to Breakers. It's probably pretty near there, I think.
Yeah, I like where your head's at.
But definitely go to the booth too, because we need to support.
We'll
these
donate
organizations.
10% during Fog. No, spend your money at FogFest. Breakers will be okay as long as the whales and the sunshine and the outdoor seating.
Right.
will be good.
What are you looking forward to at the FogFest this year, and why do you think it's made such an impact on the local community?
I think that the answer to your question is in your question. Why I'm here is because I want to make sure that the nonprofit groups that Kathy referred to, FogFest has historically given over $1.5 million back to them, and I actually think we could do a lot more, but we have to kind of see what works and what doesn't. So I was kind of just getting into the guts here, and my focus was fundraising sponsorships to ensure that not only the team and I were able to cover the expenses, but save a little bit for next year, because you never want to start in the hole. That's not ever a good idea. But I want to be able to make sure that we fund and give back to those community groups that help make this happen, because if you're not helping the groups that you claim to do with anything, if you're not aligned with the mission and vision of whatever you're doing, that's when the resentment and the uncomfortableness starts. So I haven't felt that at all, and so the thing I'm looking forward to is probably it being over, but celebrating that it went off without a hitch. I think I'm calling it right now. Some people are going to say it's the best they've ever had, best year they've ever had. I feel like I don't want to get too okay. Obviously, I'm the marketing guy, but I think it's going to be great. We've got support from new and old friends, but I'm looking forward to it to being a success and handing those checks to those community groups, and then doing a little SWOT analysis to see what we can do better next year.
Sounds like a plan.
Does
All
it?
right. Oh,
No, just
definitely.
kidding.
Yeah.
You're helping
Plan
more next year, by
101.
the way. Yeah.
All right. Coming up next, we've got Aaron Gregory, owner of Cotton Crustacean and the FogFest artwork / merchandise committee chair. Welcome, Aaron.
Thank you.
What's up,
Thanks
my
for having
brother?
me.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no problem. We lost power in Sharp Park, so I had nothing to do.
Beautiful,
I
beautiful.
was just like, I'll go be on TV.
So the poster is being printed right now. We're gonna debut it right after the interview. So why don't we hop into the questions, and then before Aaron hops off, we'll show some cool stuff. So you want me to take that first one, or you?
I can take it if you
All
want.
right, it's all yours.
Right. So what does the job of the artwork/merchandise committee chair for the Fog Fest entail, and how does it fit into the larger goal of organizing the festival?
Well, essentially, if you know, the number one way we promote the festival is with the poster. And so it all kind of begins with the poster. And so I was fortunate enough to illustrate design the poster for 2019. And then from there, usually the artwork that's on the poster becomes the artwork that goes on the merchandise, which everyone really looks forward to, right? So what my role was back in 2019, and is my same role today, is basically start with the poster design and illustration. So I'm an illustrator, so the way I've done it is it's illustrated. It's not just like
Spoiler alert.
yeah. So it's a drawing, and it's the design's based around a drawing, versus maybe just straight graphic design or something. And then I turn that image from the poster into something that'll work on T-shirts and glassware, the souvenir beer, cups and mugs and the wine glasses and everything else. So it starts kind of with the poster, then merchandise, and then also we have to do all the images and whatnot that we use to promote the festival online. So all the banners on your social media, Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, TikTok.
We're bringing it back. He has no idea what MySpace is. Isn't it crazy?
I wanted to see what your reaction was going to be.
I know what it is.
My
but-
mom told me about that.
Yeah.
No, I've watched a lot of videos on old computers and software. So I mean,
hilarious.
I haven't used it, mind you, but I'm
We're bringing
aware
it
of
back just for you, Rudy. But yeah, everyone thinks it's just the poster, but it's the whole brand identity and the artwork and different variations of it. So yeah, super grateful to have you on board.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
All right. What has the impact of the Fog Fest had on cotton crustacean?
This is a big question. I love this question. Cotton crustacean exists basically because of Fog Fest. So I had an idea to start this company where I would draw prehistoric animals, usually oceanic prehistoric animals, because that's just what I'm nerdy about. I was going to put them on T-shirts, and we were going to go around and sell them. And the idea would be to do pop-up events. And we had just moved to Pacifica from Daly City, where we were for like a short period of time. Before that, we were in San Francisco. And so we were coming further and further south, and we were starting to hear rumblings of this big street fair that happens in Pacifica. So by the time we were officially living in Pacifica, I was going to places like Winter's Tavern and hanging out and talking to people like, oh yeah, Fog Fest is what it's all about. It's like this giant party where we celebrate Pacifica. Mm-hmm. So at the exact same time I was starting the company, I said, well, this will be our trial by fire. We're going to get a booth at Fog Fest in 2012 and basically figure out, we had to buy a 10 by 10 tent. We had to buy all the frame. We had like really cheesy like frame, what do you call metal framing shelves and whatnot.
Even like your stuff that you said was like intro, like your vibe, you got the juice. So
thanks,
it looked
man.
great.
But I look back on our very first Fog Fest booth, and we just went all in with what we could. And so from that moment forward, like that first show was amazing, and we sold a ton of shirts, and I kind of went, oh my God, this business might actually work. People like these octopus shirts. And so we did the next year, and then we did the next year, and we kept tweaking our booth. And that built us the confidence we needed to go do shows in other places. The thing is, by living in Pacifica, we actually always lived really close to Palmetto. So it's kind of scary to set up a big old 10 by 10 booth and put yourself out in front of thousands of people and say, hey, buy my T-shirt. It's even scary to drive really far distances and go do that and take a chance, right? So Fog Fest helped us build that confidence to be like, all right, well, now we can go do a reptile convention in Los Angeles, right? Or a comic book convention in Los Angeles or Anaheim. Excuse me. So we helped grow the business with Fog Fest doing it every year. It was a really, really important thing. Our booth got bigger. Our booth got fancier. We kept making more and more shirts because we always knew that if we showed at Fog Fest, we're going to sell this stuff. Mm-hmm. And that eventually led us to opening a brick and mortar store right on Palmetto, which, as you know, is ground zero for Fog Fest. So now we have a big, beautiful store right on the street, and we still do the booth out on the street to keep it real. Because a lot of people who are fans of our company still maybe don't know we have a store.
Yeah.
And so they're walking down Palmetto like, oh, just get that guy who does the shark shirts. And if they don't know to look for a store, you know, they'd maybe just miss us completely if I didn't have the tent out there. So we keep it real with the old school FogFest booth on the street. And then we have the store with the doors open. And yeah, we crush it. It's like the best thing ever.
That's amazing. I think that was the best like origin story I've heard as far as like your why and what got you in. And I didn't do it on purpose, but I think that's what made me give you the call.
Yeah.
Because it would take that, you know, like you got to have a connection. You got to believe in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when things get hard, you got to remember why you're doing it. So again, I appreciate you
Yeah.
being here. Do you want to show off some of the work from previous stuff? And then do you have a poster teaser for us?
Yeah, I can show some stuff. So we obviously don't have the shirts and whatnot made for this year quite yet. That'll happen soon.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. And I don't have necessarily the final finished poster physically in my hand, but I do have a kind of a prototype of it. But I think they're going to show the original one.
Yeah, I think
on the
do
screen.
you want to just
All right.
flash
Let me
this
show
and then
what we've
anything
done
you want to
before.
show us, and then we'll cut to the poster, and then we'll bring John on to thank all these lovely sponsors, because I know we don't do that corporate stuff. We're punk rock.
Yep. You guys want to look at pictures of like Wolverine and Godzilla too?
We're not talking about that, I thought.
Oh, okay.
But God damn, that was good. Did you see that?
All right. So, see, can you see it? All right. There we go.
Ooh,
Nice.
HD.
So 2019 is, I'm doing this in reverse, this one here. So that was my first year doing it, and you know, it's a illustration. We got the mermaid, which is a kind of a traditional aspect of the FogFest posters, going all the way back to the 80s. I actually didn't realize that some of those really old posters have a red-haired mermaid in them. So it's kind of cool that I conjured that up with the FogFest spirit. Anyways, and then so Cotton Crustacean is a wildlife and biology kind of based, science-based clothing brand, and so of course I'm going to draw a bunch of animals in here. So we've got a bunch of the local species in there. We've got a humpback whale, great white shark, California sea lion, all sorts of cool stuff. And then, as you guys know, 2020 was a weird year, and FogFest did not happen. But I was still hired by the FogFest committee to do a commemorative poster to basically say, "Hey, Pacifica, hang in there.
Yeah.
You know, we'll get through this in like 6 weeks."
I think it was 3 or 2. Yeah, right.
We'll get this in like 3 weeks, and we'll surely do a FogFest in 2021. So this is my commemorative poster for that.
Yeah. I love that.
Both of these are for sale at all times at Cotton Crustacean, located at 100 Santa Rosa Avenue. And then, of course, 2021, we did not have a FogFest. And by that point, we were all kind of tired and bummed, so we didn't do a commemorative poster.
Trying to figure stuff out.
We just didn't really know. So and then FogFest happened again in 2022. I think Julie Engelman did that poster, which is awesome.
Yeah, shout out to Julie.
2023, I forget who was the artist that did it in
Mike?
2023.
Mike Boyle, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been great. I love working with local artists. I love working with local artists who know what they're doing. I like honoring Pacifica, and I think you encapsulate that amazingly.
Can I show a shirt?
Yeah, let's do a shirt, and then
Yeah.
we'll queue up the poster. Maybe we can debut that after the T-shirts.
Okay, so based off that 2019 poster here, you know, this is kind of what the shirts look
I
like.
figured like part of your world. With, like, a
Yeah.
breakdown.
Very, very Little Mermaid. I think it was like 8 colors. I can't believe the president at that time, Larry,
Yeah, shout
allowed
out
me
to
to do
Larry.
like 8 or 9 colors.
Larry,
on
it's
the
your
shirt.
fault. We're all here. We love you. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's basically, you know, it's the image that's on the poster. We did T-shirts, we did tank tops, we did these.
We're gonna do similar, just with this year's artwork.
Correct. Right,
So
right.
This is
So
a good teaser.
We'll do all the good stuff. So nice little long sleeve, kind of coastal. You know, I say coastal because it's kind of light. It's good for layering.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Sorry, I'm messing it up, but you get the idea.
Cool.
There it is. FogFest.
Anything else you want us to know before we cut to this final version of the poster?
I'm just honored to be helping FogFest because, as I told my story, it means a lot to me. It's you know, it means a lot to my family. It means a lot to the community. I love that it gives back so much. It gave a lot back to just me. So there's another aspect I want everybody to remember about FogFest is, yes, we donate so much money to nonprofits, which is amazing. But what it does for all the local businesses is incredible. If I didn't have FogFest in my my yearly gross sales.
Yeah, projections.
I don't know if Cogger Station would be able to hang in there.
Yeah.
You know, so and I know that's true for the cafes and the antique stores.
Winners for sure. Like CJ, he did that fundraiser for us. Shout out to CJ. Thank you very much.
Winners, the dispensaries, everything that is on Palmetto and even adjacent to Palmetto. You know, people over in the Oceana Market kind of area. You know,
I mean, people
Master
go to the
Toy Box.
hotels. They hit Breakers for
the hotels get booked. So it's a massive boost for Pacifica business, and I think that's almost reason alone, right, to fight for it.
It checks all the boxes for me, and then I know there's some that just decide to close that day, but we appreciate your sacrifice, and if for some reason you're one of those businesses, like, bring it up to us, because we'll try to make it up to you with extra promo, or we'll maybe have like an after party there. Like, we're trying our best. We're all volunteer run. We can't make everyone happy, but that's our goal. So, if you got something on your mind, like John and Kathy are available. Like, we're here. We're open. The bulk of the planning is done, so we can kind of field these. But it's all timing, and it's all love and respect. But, without, like I said, Seabowl or all the other things that are kind of in peril right now, we have to keep the Fog Fest. We're not saving anymore like this. We're on board and we're ready to rock and roll. So thank you for that. Jason, if you don't mind, this is the first time we're ever going to debut the final .psd final. I don't even know what it was.
I think this is
Rudy,
final,
you gotta do your
final
your
version of
figures. There you go.
V11.
Drum roll, please.
Boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Wow. Rudy, you haven't seen that yet. What do you think?
Honestly, it looks sick.
Do you know what
Nice.
that statue is in the back, or do I need to educate you?
Statue of Liberty? I don't know.
You're close. Aaron,
Yeah, so
walk us through the artwork a little bit, because there's so many Easter eggs and fun stuff honoring all of
That's
Pacifica
right.
that it's good for Rudy's generation to know where we come from.
So that is in the background, looming over all of us, looking out over our town, is the statue of the goddess Pacifica. And that was a statue that was created for the 1939-1940 Golden Gate World
Treasure Island Fair.
World's Fair kind of thing. And it actually was like an enormous statue. It's really, really huge if you look up photos of it. When Pacifica incorporated and became the city of Pacifica.
1957.
Thank you. So 1957, all the little townships. Stop talking over me.
Sorry, babe.
All right. So when all the townships incorporated, so Rockaway and Salada Beach, which, Sharp Park, Manor, all those came together. We became Pacifica. We had to come up with a city name. And so it was basically decided that we were going to be named after the statue Pacifica. And so there she is, looking out over our town. We've got humpback whales, because the theme of Fog Fest this year is a whale of a good time. Also, the humpbacks have just been going total bananas out off of our beaches right now. So for like the last 4 weeks, and they're still there. I just saw them yesterday, or
Slapping the tails.
Slapping tails, slapping those pec fins. We have other wildlife to kind of call back to the 2019 poster. We have a very friendly great white shark, not threatening at all. We've got some steelhead. We've got a striped bass. We have a California sea lion, a Dungeness crab, some anchovies, some other fun stuff. Lots of birds. We have some hang gliders, because people know, but we've got a lot of hang gliders that hang out on the northernmost part of Pacifica, right where it becomes Daly City. And then we've got the pier. If you really look closely, the pier is in there because the pier is very important to me. It's very important to Sharp Park, which is the neighborhood that Fog Fest happens in. So we've got some fishermen out there doing what they do. There's no mermaid this year.
So I was gonna say that my favorite part.
Sorry,
My joke is true.
So my
Just
favorite
fish and
part.
chips.
I have two favorite parts. One, I love the airplane in like near the S.
Yes, SFO flight
Because
path.
if you're from Pacifica, you definitely love and hate the airplanes. But when everyone asks like, "Oh, where's the mermaid?" It's like, no, she's surfing now. Like she got her legs. She's one of us now. She's part of our world.
Yeah.
So I love how you kind of pay homage to that.
Yeah.
And there's so many other little things, like the bass has got like a line. Like there's just so many. Every time I look at it, there's something new.
Yep,
So
there's even a windsurfer way in the back, cruising. And then, of course, we have all of our amazing sponsors on the poster.
yeah, I guess we should shout out Lit at this point.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
if you couldn't tell already, there you go.
Okay, I'm going to step off.
Cool. Yeah, John, hop on. And then,
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Aaron. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Rudy, you hanging in there? You feeling
All right,
good?
I'm
Need a
hanging
water
in
break or
here.
anything, or like you're good?
Well, gotta open that fire hose, I think.
All right. We're gonna hopefully have path water for you. I'll hook you up.
Okay, sounds good. All right, coming up next, we've got John Beckmeyer, president of FogFest. Woo!
The man, the myth, the
Welcome.
legend.
All right,
He's making his only TV appearance because of us right now.
exclusive. We've
Yeah,
got him
exclusive with John.
exclusively.
So get him while you can.
All right, John, can you give us a little background about all the work that goes into organizing FogFest and your role in putting on the festival?
Oh my gosh.
It's all in his head too.
There is, it's a phenomenal amount of work. Everyone who goes to the festival and has a really good time probably appreciates some dimension of what goes on to make it happen, whether there's a booth in the right place, whether the bands are on the stage, whether the sound company's got the right mix on the bands, is pushing the mix. But at the same time, there's the porta potties that are out there. There's the ice that has to get delivered to all the booths. There's the kegs that have to get delivered to the booths. There's the wine. There's it goes on and on and on. We have carts to haul stuff around. We have teams and teams and teams of people that we need to coordinate that move our product around. We have to make sure that the merchandise booth is built and staffed. And all of this happens really in a compressed time frame. Kathy, who you met earlier, and myself, and a few other people will probably go 48 hours without sleep during the Fog Fest. It's a really, really intense 2 days, and we couldn't do it without the community support. And even then, it is a very big push. But everybody seems to have a really good time, and everybody appreciates the effort that goes into it. When the Fog Fest is over is really when the next Fog Fest work begins. We have to sort of work out what the books are, whether they're profit. We got to pay out the community groups. We got to get our tax reports in. We have to start looking at what vendors are available for next year. We have additional security that we hire outside of our public works department. We have to start reaching out to other companies. There's definitely been some people pulling out of markets for services that we need. So we spend a lot of time trying to source things for the Fog Fest. Simple things like barricades, barriers, traffic cones, the porta potty thing that I mentioned before. Fortunately, we've had some real nice stability with the people who provide us our stages and our sound gear. Pacific Coast TV is there year in, year out, running the show, making sure the stages are emceed, that and just jumping in where there's a need. If the traffic is crazy, the people are out there, calming traffic and getting people in the cars to move past each other without grinding people into hamburger. The city of Pacifica came to our rescue this year with a really, really nice gift, courtesy of the people of Pacifica and the city council. And they also do a family fun festival at the north end of town on Sunday. So they put a lot of resource into it. There's a fun run that they put together. Yeah. So there's all these pieces that move. And
that's like half of it.
It's a really, really, really small team that does this planning and gets this work done. And they're amazing people. And I think for me, that's one of the best parts of being in Pacifica is I am surprised every day at the caliber and dedication of the people in this town and what they bring. And I think it all manifests on FogFest Day.
Well, it sounds like it's a ton of hard work. But let me ask you this. What makes you passionate about FogFest?
Yeah, why do you do this?
Oh, my God. Okay, so
this is FogFest dad right here.
Maybe I should be the one on the couch.
You want to put your head on my lap?
Do we have a paid professional psychiatrist in the
Hello,
house?
darkness, my old friend.
I need to be on the couch to answer this one properly. No, I really do. We came to Pacifica 30-plus years ago, 35 years ago, to have our first kid and raise a family. And this town has been amazing. We are so happy we came here, and we continue to just revel in what an amazing place this is. And I look around the Bay Area, and there's nothing else in the Bay Area that has what we have here. And by the grace of the gods, we managed to land here, and I don't take it for granted. And I love seeing the sense of community we have. So when I walk out FogFest Day and I look up and down the street and I see everybody reconnecting and smiling and laughing and finding their old friends and talking to people they haven't seen in a while, connecting with their neighbors, definitely leaves a big warm spot in my heart.
Definitely.
Beautiful.
Strong sense of community. Do you have anything to add, Robby?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I know you talked about the City of Pacifica giving us our seed money, and that kind of sparked the whole sponsorship program. But we wouldn't be here without City of Pacifica. Also lit. We'll have Holly on in a little bit. But one thing that we kind of combined, because we've never worked together before, and this is your first year being president, so we're still getting used to it. But one thing that I'm super proud of and honored to work with you on is all of our beverage sponsors,
my
because
gosh.
they're as local as possible, which that's one of my criteria. And they've actually hooked us up with some product and some sponsorship dollars that'll actually go to the nonprofit organizations. So it's not just sponsorships, it's not just fundraising, but it's sales, it's the parking lot. So I didn't even understand that, but if we can just give them their flowers and maybe you can highlight a little bit.
There's a
of this,
lot of
that'd be
back
great.
office that goes into this, and a bit of a story. I think many of our viewers probably got the inkling and heard rumors that FogFest might not happen, and that is very, very true. Thanks to Robby and his vision on how we could do fundraising, we were able to bring in some significant sponsors to rescue FogFest. So this year we actually did pull FogFest out of the ashes, and it's a special FogFest. You might not realize it, but the previous FogFest very well could have been the last FogFest for Pacifica. This year, we've got it online, and we're moving things forward, courtesy of things like 805 Firestone Walker.
I'm not allowed to crack these.
Yeah, it was
Shout out
our,
to 805. Thank you guys very
our
much.
beer sponsor last year, and they are back.
Rudy,
They're
are you
excited
21?
to work with us.
I am
You
21.
take that home, baby.
We have a nice selection of 805 brands. We have Best Day Brewing
Nice.
coming in. These are non-alcoholic beers, so if you're
sweeping
feeling
the
thirsty
nation.
and don't
Golden
want
Soul
to
started
consume
it.
alcohol, a really amazing product line. We're going to have about 4 of their beers on site. We'll have a tasting booth at one of our areas, so you can actually taste them before you buy them if you haven't experienced it. It's a really, really nice product. All of them are actually nice products.
And the distributor actually lives in Pacifica, Lina from the Fam Bam. So this is as local as it gets. So support
Yes,
Best Day Brewing.
absolutely.
And of course 805, because without all of our sponsors and all of our beverage supporters, we wouldn't be here.
This one I love. This is a sparkling water, flavored sparkling water. It's like
Look how good. Yeah, you're like, ooh. Look at your
They have
nails
a
look so
variety
good.
of flavors for their product,
Rudy.
and
There's your free water.
they have a local
Shock on this.
connection.
Yeah.
Extremely.
Tell us about
local.
that.
The gentleman who runs this operation is married into the Mazzetti family.
Yeah, shout out to Matt. Thank you very much. He's also on the Economic Development Committee. So I was like, hey, man, you got to talk to John.
when he heard that FogFest had a financial need, he came up with this, and he's providing us product at an extremely reasonable price. And the revenue that we make from that will fund FogFest next year and let us put money in the coffers of our support groups in town.
which is the goal. And
Yes.
then
And
this is a new one. This is exciting. Not only are we going to have the fog cutter, of course, but we have a new cocktail beverage sponsor.
Yeah, so the laws.
Can you make it
the
back
law-
there? I'll get it.
Okay. The laws in Pacifica, actually in our entire county, changed, and we had to move away from hand mixed cocktails except for our signature drink, which is the fog cutter. So last year we experimented with canned cocktails. It went over really, really well. This year we have a new sponsor for our canned cocktails, which is West Peak. We'll have about 4 different flavors of their product. We have sampled and tested them extensively, and we're proud. We're proud to offer these.
Those are the
products.
most fun
Yes,
meetings,
yes.
but no more.
We also have water. If things go well, someone that we had last year will be able to come back in. And then, of course, just across the board, everybody in our community has stepped up on sponsorship, some in really, really significant ways. Some have been around forever, including things like Recology of the Coast have stepped in. They always have been a big sponsor, and when they hear we have a need, they're on it like that. And that holds true for a bunch of other companies. If I started listing names, I would
What are your
offend
top
people.
3 that I'll cover the
Lit,
rest?
Recology,
Winners, North Coast County. I'm
Winners,
trying to remember
North
the shirt,
Coast, City Toyota,
Tri-Counties Bank.
Tri-Counties Bank,
Cresco.
Cresco, the
Ace Hardware.
Ace Hardware,
Pacifica Tiny Homes.
Hassett
Breakers.
Hardware,
Conquer
Breakers.
Station.
Yes, it
We
just
should make this a drinking
it
game.
goes on and on and on. It's been really fantastic.
Grocery outlet,
I mean,
bargain market.
we were very, very close to not having a Fog Fest, and with the help of all these companies, we're able to make our startup expenses, we get them covered without going bankrupt. And we will have money
And
at
that is
the
what
end
it's
of
all
this
about.
Fog Fest, which then goes into the coffers of our support groups. And we're going to retrain some of that back into our next year's startup, so we're not scrambling quite as hard.
So you're on for next year? You've already decided?
I'm
You know,
here to make Fog Fest happen.
Nice. I realized we didn't start the timer, so I have no idea how long we're going. Is there anything else you want to say before we debut? Actually, this is a surprise to everyone. We're going to debut the City of Pacifica's new promo video, and there's some love in there for the Fog Fest. So I thought, what better way to get eyes on this interview process than debuting this video? But anything before we cut to this?
Go to our website, get your parade registrations
parade.
done. Be ready to come out and have a great time at this party.
And if you don't, John's going to find you
I will find you.
and make you have fun. All right, Jason, are you ready to cut to that? I don't know if we ever tested it. It's got sound on it. But this is a Visit Pacifica project that we worked on with the City of Pacifica, and I thought it'd be appropriate because it highlights Fog Fest. Welcome to Pacifica. Located just 15 minutes from San Francisco, the beautiful beachfront town is the perfect destination for a relaxing and adventurous getaway. Known for its natural beauty, Pacifica is filled with miles of sandy beaches and numerous hiking trails through rugged coastline that overlook the ocean surf and forested canyons. Pacifica features a variety of accommodations located near the beach and within walking distance to great restaurants, hiking and walking trails, the Sharp Park Golf Course, and the Pacifica Pier. Pacifica also offers visitors a wide range of recreational opportunities, including surfing, skateboarding, fishing, and crabbing. There are a variety of coastal dining options that range from casual to fine dining. Locals and visitors love Breakers for their generous portions and friendly service, and the newly opened Top Pot for their wide variety and quality of food. Nick's Restaurant, Moonraker, and Porter 27 are also favorites for their delicious cuisine accompanied by spectacular views of the ocean. And of course, we can't forget about our award-winning Taco Bell Cantina right on the beach. You'll also find many art and cultural events such as the Coastside Farmers Market in Rockaway, Pacific Coast Fog Fest along Palmetto Avenue, and the World Dog Surfing Championships at Lindemar Beach. With so many wonderful places to stay, activities, restaurants, shops, and events, there is so much to discover and experience. Whether this is your first time or you've been here before, we invite you to visit Pacifica. Brings a tear to my eye. What do you guys think? You just saw that. That's been in someone's inbox for about 3 months now, so I think it's appropriate to share now. Rudy, you have any initial reactions? This is the first time I've showed it to anyone other than my girlfriend. So
Fantastic. Love all the Pacifica shots. Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautifully shot.
You want to introduce our next guest?
All right, our next guest is Holly Smalley, Director of Operations at LIT. And no, I'm not talking about how awesome the Fog Fest is. I'm talking about the cannabis dispensary.
That works too. Beautiful. Holly, you know I love and adore you, and I appreciate you cutting time out of your busy schedule. But you're always good about like replying to texts and emails. And I see you when I pull out on Palmetto, it's either you or Brett running across the street in and out. So this was meant to be. You were also part of a few other projects I've been involved in. So yeah, just kindred spirit here, and just so appreciative for you taking the time. We got a couple hot seat questions for you. We're gonna get behind the scenes a little bit. What is your role, like a director of operations? What does that even mean? And then give us a little bit of background of how either Brett or you and Brett started the business in Pacifica, because he's another local boy. So that's important for people to know.
Yeah. So I do all the boring stuff.
And then try to speak
right?
in the mic. Sorry.
Yes.
My fault.
Yeah, no worries. I kind of do all the boring stuff. I'm like I do all the compliance. There's so many regulations in the cannabis world, and we want to make sure we do it right. So it's a lot to stay on top of. Brett's his passion is cannabis, and so I think when the opportunity came up to have licensed cannabis business in his hometown, he's lived here his entire life, like born and raised in Pedro Point. He was so excited and so passionate about doing that here, and so he's stoked. Yeah,
That's cool. So it's a lot of people who did you know that Pacifica was kind of the first one to kind of take the leap to sell cannabis? Like that was kind of a big deal.
You know what I've noticed is it's been wild. We've gone from back when I was in school, people were saying, "Oh, cannabis is bad for you," and
They were calling it marijuana back then.
yeah, and now there's like cannabis dispensaries all around town. I actually went there with my friend once. It was quite an interesting experience.
Yeah. So could you talk a little bit about like just the shift in like the overall?
Yeah.
Like how did that come about?
Sure. I think across time, the stigma's still there, right? But I think so much research on health benefits, I think, has helped remove that stigma. I also think responsible use, and there's a lot of information on how to responsibly use cannabis. I think it's played a pretty significant role in maybe harm reduction with other more dangerous drugs. We have a lot of guests that come in who are moving away from opiates, who are moving away from drinking alcohol, who don't want to take pain medication and are looking for maybe something more holistic, something that just feels more natural to them. It's a plant, it grows, you can grow your own, you can be sustainable, that's allowed in Pacifica. And I think it's neat to be able to decide how you take care of your body and to do it holistically if you're into that.
Definitely. And it's not like just anyone can work there. Like, they're trained. You've got the procedures, and like, so I've heard great things about all of our cannabis spots.
Yeah.
Everyone was invited to participate, and I'm just so grateful for you guys stepping up. Is there anything else we need to know about just like the background or lit in general before we get into more like FogFest specific questions?
Yeah, I think like what Aaron said, I mean, I think it was our first year. You know, it was so stressful, and FogFest made a huge impact on, I think, our survival. You know, you open a brownie business, you open your doors, you do all the things, and you're like, what if no one comes? You know, what if no one, you open the door, like, is anybody going to come in
then
here
65,000 people came.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, man.
Too. And they're walking in, you know, it was incredible. And
that
so,
first year?
Yes.
Okay,
you know,
cool. How long ago was that, about?
2019.
Okay, so right before, and then you got a little break for 2020,
Yeah,
but
yes,
you would have wished you had that business, because we
But
all did.
Literally,
Like,
we opened, FogFest happened, and I think that, thank you for the prompt over there. I talk loud, so you got to prompt me, wave anytime. But yeah.
Stage manager, Marty, thank you very much.
Huge impact on our business, and Pacifica made us successful like they did all of our businesses. You know, It's your community that rallies around you. And I think nothing's cooler than being part of our community, you know.
I agree. We should put that on a lit FogFest t-shirt
let's
with like
do
a
it.
breaker's tag on the bottom.
I'm into it.
Community is lit.
What helping your community is lit. Say no to drugs. How long has Brett been going to FogFest? Because I wonder if he is part of the Wax Hand crew. I know I might have a couple years on him.
I bet he is, man.
But when was your first one? But or talk about his experience. I know he couldn't make it today, but yeah, give us kind of that like involvement, because I know this was special to him, and he said a few things, but I was like, man, if I could just get that on camera, it'd be great.
Right?
But yeah, like.
So I'm newer. I wasn't born and raised here, right? I moved here from Hawaii, and I'm looking at fun things to do, and I see there's a Fog City Cafe. I see there's a Fog this, and it's really cold. I moved here in June almost, right? I don't know about the late summer coolness here. I'm cold, right? I'm going to the beach every day in my bathing suit.
Definitely
it's like,
not
what's
Hawaii
going
anymore.
on?
Yeah.
No, but I remember coming to Pacifica, and I think I always came in September because it was really warm. So I'm looking up things to do. I'm feeling cold. I'm missing my friends on island, and I Google, they have a FogFest, and I cried. I called my friends, they even have a FogFest, and September hit, man, and the sun came out, the community came out, the FogFest was amazing. I adore the fog now. I think it's romantic and mysterious, and I'm in love with it all. I love this town. Brett, again, born and raised here. I asked his mom.
We should have had his mom on.
She should have.
All right,
She should
next time
have.
I'm getting her
You
phone
have
number.
to get Cheryl King on here. Yes.
Shout out Cheryl King. We got first and last name, so we'll hunt her down.
So I asked her, what was it like then? And I mean, both Brett and I, we both have parents who are small town, business owners, and both parents big into community and donating and volunteering. His mom owned Academy of Dance Studio at Sanchez.
Okay.
And
wow.
so she, in very first year, 1986, Nick Gust from Nick's Restaurant gave her $1,000 to have a float, right? Some flatbed float. They decked it out. She said they had all her girlfriends and all the kids mostly, right? It was about the kids. Brett and his twin brother David, they're dressed up like cowboys. All the girls are dressed in these can outfits, and she's got this big sign on the thing is a beer and a dance for 25 cents. And she said, we sold those.
Do we have pictures of that?
I looked online.
Miss King, can we get that?
There's got to be somewhere. And then she did it for the next 5 years, 3 years, I think, with some flow. And then she had some really cool oversized van because she had a daycare. And she ultimately said they decorated the whole thing. Fuchsia is like the flower of Pacifica
Yes,
with
yeah.
potted
Oh, so you're on
fuchsias
fire.
and like hot pink tutus all over it. And so she did it for 5 years. They had to go wine booths. So Cheryl gave me the ins and outs, but she had her boys dressed up like cowboys. They were on the floats.
That's probably the Frontierland days.
Yeah, he said they worked those booths. They helped set up, take down. So yeah.
Okay, sweet. We want to make sure we get a couple more questions in with you, but yeah, again, thank you. And then Rudy, if you can just quickly get through these.
All right. So what
But not too
inspired?
quick,
Yeah. Well, we got to listen to our floor manager. What inspired you to step up and become our presence sponsor? Is there anything specific you hope to achieve with our partnership? And are there any specific promotions you'll be running during the Fog Fest?
I'm sure like every other business in town will be running promotions. We hope guests will come in and have a good time. There'll be all kinds of specials that Brett's planning. But ultimately, an entire festival devoted to giving back to the community. We have so many amazing nonprofits in our town that do so much beautiful, beautiful good. And I hope that they get as much money as possible so they can keep giving back and make our community better and better, help every family, help every child, give something back. Like Brett's mom, she said, I could not have done that float without Nick Gus giving me that $1,000. And Brett, was talking about that too. And it does feel good to give back. It does feel good to be part of your community.
Your brain actually does release like dopamine when
Yeah.
you write a check. So thank you for writing that check, Brett.
Well, I got
Hope you
plenty of
got that
bills
little
to
high
pay,
you were
so it's a
searching.
wonder I'm not more happy.
You can donate. We'll get it going.
There you go. Sell
Anything
that.
else for her?
Anything else you'd like our viewers to know?
No, thank you for all the hard work you're putting into this. Thank you for the hard work everyone is doing. Definitely takes a village. I know how hard you guys are working, and it's a beautiful, good collective effort, and I'm proud to be here and proud to be a part.
Thank you very much. If we could just have anyone else on this who wants to come and just hop in the camera, and we'll just say a final goodbye, or did you have something else?
I had one more thing. With all this beer I got during the last segment.
Sorry, yeah, come on out.
I think I'm really going to need that ride home.
Rudy wants to party.
In fact, you might have to wheel me out to the car on a stretcher.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
All right.
Cheers to the Fest, everyone. We love you, Pacific Coast.
Cheers.
I think
Wait,
not my mom is
TV,
my
yes,
dad.
thank
this
you.
is an alcoholic. I thought I needed a designated driver.
PacificCoastFogFest.com. At Fog Festival on Instagram. John, we love you. We thank you. Facebook. We're bringing back MySpace. Thank you so much. We love you. We'll see you the 28th and 29th.